Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I'm going to be showing you all my favorite products for contour and highlight. My number one is my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. My number two is my Maybelline Fit Me. My number three is my NYX concealers in 02 and 07. And then goes my e.l.f. contouring palette with the contour shade, the bronzer shade, the setting powder, and the highlight. I'm going to go with the NYX 02 shade because I want a very bright under eye. So I'm just placing that in little dots under my eye because this stuff goes a long way. And I'm just going to use my damp beauty sponge and I'm going to buff that out underneath my eye, being very gentle because your eyes are very sensitive and you don't want to hurt them. And I'm just going to blend that out so that way it kind of matches my skin, but at the same time it still has that brightening effect. Sometimes I like to drag the concealer onto my actual eyelid, sort of start priming it, because I do use concealer as a primer sometimes. Taking the same concealer, we're just going to put that in the normal highlighted spots like the forehead, the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, and the chin. I'm going to use the bottom side of the beauty sponge that I use to do my foundation, so it's kind of like the foundation color mixed in with the concealer color, except for on the bridge of my nose, I'm going to use the smaller side of the beauty sponge to, really get in there. Normally, if I wasn't cream contouring, I would use a powder. So I would use this palette right here, and then I would go over it with that setting powder right there for my highlight, or my NYX translucent powder, or this translucent powder from Loreal, or my NYC powder, which is what I'm going to actually use today because I want my under eye to be brighter. I'm going to take this little cosmetic sponge and I'm just going to place that underneath my eye. I'm not going to bake too much today because I don't want my under eye to be like blinding, but I'm just using it to like set my under eye with. Also, I think I'm going to put it on the rest of the face where I highlighted in those other spots. Now to contour, I'm going to be taking that darker shade, which is more of a bronze, it's more bronzy looking on my skin than it is a contour because it's not very harsh. But I'm just going to put that on like the normal hollows of my cheeks at first, and then I'm going to take my damp beauty sponge and use the bottom side, and then also take it on the side, like angle it with the contour and blend upwards so that way it doesn't look muddy or anything. When you're doing this, you need to blend because it can kind of get out of control and look really unnatural, and you need to blend. That's all I have to say. Then I'm just going to take whatever's left over on this little cosmetic sponge and I'm just going to place that underneath it so that way it cleans it up a little bit. Next, we're going to take that onto the forehead and the temples to kind of connect the contour together. I was a little heavy-handed when I did this, and I probably should have used less product because my forehead was a little bit darker than my cheekbones were, but I'm just going to take my beauty sponge and blend that out. And when I get to the smaller areas, I use the side of it, but then I use the bottom of it for when I get to the bigger areas, like the sides of my forehead. Either I would go over this with my e.l.f. contouring palette with the bronzer, the contour shade, but I'm going to go in with my Physicians Formula bronzer instead on this angled brush by e.l.f. I mean, by Crown, my bad. And I'm just going to put that in all the places that I placed the cream contour to set it. this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed it a lot. Please go watch my last video, and I'll see you guys next time.